We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order. Before we go into our regular agenda, I have a couple pieces of housekeeping that I'd like to address. We are basically reinstating our masking policy that we previously had for county buildings. And I just want to read this memorandum that we'll be sending out to the elected officials and supervisors. As a follow-up to the virtual meeting that took place on August 31, 2021, the Commission is asking that you communicate with your staff the following. Masks are required by any member of the public entering county facilities regardless of vaccination status and must be worn at all times. Updated signage will be posted at the entrance of each building. Employees are reminded to practice sound social distancing and other personal prevention strategies to including, but not limited to, masks or approved facial coverings must be worn in all main areas or common areas of county buildings regardless of vaccination status. Masks may be optional for employees who have been fully vaccinated and can be secluded in the privacy of their own office or are protected from the public behind a glass or plastic safety barrier, but only if approved by the elected official or department supervisor. Regular disposal, washing of masks or approved facial coverings, frequent hand washing, and use of sanitary dispensers. The Facilities Department will be resuming bi-weekly sanitizing of county facilities. An email reminder will be sent out on Friday mornings to notify you of when that will occur. So this is a memorandum that will be sent out to all county offices and employees.
I also have one other one.
Okay.
That what I'd like to pass is Monongalia County Commission, at the request of the Director of the Mon County Office of Emergency Management, has issued a countywide state of emergency declaration. Now, basically it states beginning August 31st through September 2nd, because of the remnants of Hurricane Ida causing a threat to health and safety due to the amount of the additional rainfall and potential flooding, power outages and rock slides and road blockages as well, that we are requesting this. The state of emergency shall remain in effect until lifted. However, what I'm asking is that we approve the emergency declaration and allow the president to sign it if needed. And that's we'll know probably today. So we would pass it so it allows you to sign it so that we can immediately go after materials and go through the process so we don't have to wait several days.
Okay.
So I so move.
Okay. Second. I'd like to just add to that if you're authorizing that the president can sign this declaration, I would like that authorization to also be based off of advice from our MECA 911 director.
Correct.
So, I'm not going to willy-nilly sign a declaration unless I'm advised by our director that one is appropriate.
That is fine. I'll amend it.
Okay. So the amended motion, do you second that?
Second, yes.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Consent approval, County Administrator.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we have 35 exonerations for $34,950.07. 6 requests to create new statements for $12,369.54. Minutes for August 25th, 2021. Vouchers, General County Fund, $60,067.82. Magistrate Court, $34.65. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,322.03. Camp Muffley, $443.66. Mason-Dixon Park, $1,367.39. Recreation Levy, $3,300. Assessor's valuation, $1,927.50. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $47,101.93. Magistrate Court, $123.72. Chestnut Ridge Park, $966.28. Mason-Dixon Park, $207.71. For a voucher total of $117,862.69. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities listed on our website. Fiduciary orders for September 21st, 2021. And then I believe there's also statement of services for Fiduciary Commissioner George Armistead. No, itemized statement of services, sorry.
Okay, a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have two separate fiduciary items?
Yes. Okay, so you also have a petition. Well, it's this one's a little complicated. So you've got a petition to remove the executor and appoint the sheriff as the administrator of the estate of Thomas Werner Koch.
Okay. What is the commission's
Move
desire?
to refer to the fiduciary agent.
Second.
Okay, first and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, refer to fiduciary commissioner.
Okay, and the second one is the estate of Susanna Messenger. There's a petition to remove and a request to appoint a new fiduciary commissioner, or I'm sorry, a new administrator.
Okay. Is it-
I'll ask Commissioner Arnett, I think he knows what would you recommend?
On this one, I think we can table it for a week so we can properly review it, and then perhaps we'll be ready to act for the next meeting rather than kicking it to a fiduciary commissioner. I understand this is a long-standing
Yeah, this has come
estate.
before the
It's come
commission
up
before.
and the
Mhm.
fiduciary commissioner's had it in hand before. So if it meets with the other commissioner's approval, I would move to table it for 1 week before we take action so we can properly vet it and see if we're able to take action.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to table and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion's tabled.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is introduction of new employees, personnel changes. Perry DeChristopher, and so Perry's not here. Do you want to?
Sure. I told her I would take care of it if she wasn't able to come up. She is hiring Jason Glass. He is going to be an assistant prosecuting attorney, effective September 1, yearly salary of $67,000, and he would be full-time with, obviously, eligible for benefits.
Okay,
Move for approval.
Second.
okay, motions, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Dear.
All right, next item.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good
and
morning.
lady. Thank you very much. This morning I would like to introduce Kevin Kuhn. He is going to be the Assistant Park Superintendent in Mason-Dixon Historical Park with your approval. His salary will be $30,000 a year. He will also be a full-time employee at the park and living on the property.
Okay,
Move for approval.
Second.
second, and one point of clarification, I'd like to reintroduce Kevin Kuhn. Kevin is a previous employee of the assessor's office. And we hate when we lose employees, but we're also happy when we pull them back. So welcome back, Kevin. We're glad to have you. We have a first and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Any others? And then any other personnel changes?
I'm sorry, no. I was just making sure my letter didn't walk off.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is comments from the public. Now open the comments from the public session of the meeting. If anybody would like to be heard, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. And seeing none, go ahead and close comments from the public. Colleen Kuhn, grants. None? Okay. Correspondence.
I only had one piece to come in. It's from a Carl Bruner, who is the president of the Tanglewood Homeowners Association. It's about flooding in their development. I guess they border Acorn Village. I don't know if he had contacted you all or not, but he is asking for funding through the American Rescue Plan to address their stormwater issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I received about 5 of those letters. I responded with Mike Minolti's response. The problem seems to be that their flooding is due to a private stormwater system that's under this one property, and therefore it's private, and it's a legal matter now, and that's the problem. But I did give them all the information that Mike McNulty from
So
Mike gave.
was the Tanglewood, did the Tanglewood folks,
Acorn and Tanglewood.
okay.
Yeah,
alright.
just so both. And
Okay.
I could give you that information too if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd probably be helpful to have it.
Okay,
just
I'll give
put
you
it all
that. And
together.
that's about a half a dozen I've had of those.
Okay,
Okay. And since the letter specifically asked for assistance from ARP, would you just put a copy of that in our
Yeah.
master folder for
Absolutely.
ARP request?
sure.
Okay. Any other correspondence?
No, I didn't have any.
Commissioner Bloom, did you have
No,
any
I'll bring it
others?
up at my report.
Okay.
No.
Commissioner Arnett, okay. Unfinished business, there's none. New business. Consideration to approve the request to amend the West Run Planning District zoning map designation from low-density R1 and high-density R4 to general commercial C2 of property legally described as Union District Tax Map 12, Parcel 50, and Tax Map 21, Parcels 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, and 2. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Basically, we had the public hearing on this last week, and there was no one speaking in favor or against. The presentation was made by our planning office, and there was no opinion on either side. So I just wanted to make sure I noted that. Normally, we would do this on the same day of the public meeting. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. To consider for approval requisition number 50 for the University Town Center Series 2017 Administrative Expense Fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, there are two invoices totaling $12,833.06, and they're both to MuniCap. Any other tidbit? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We have a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. To consider approval, for approval requisition number 2 for the Morgantown Industrial Park Series 2021 A Phase 3 Project Fund. Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Just second?
Second.
Okay. The total on this one's $572,671.41. As to the developer costs is $52,052.06 for Steptoe and Johnson for legal support. $37,052.06. Well, that number. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. The developer is $52,052.06. Of that, $37,052.06 is to Steptoe for legal support, and $15,000 is to West Virginia Research Corp for a financial feasibility study. The other part of that is $520,619.35 that goes to third-party contractors, being March Weston, Preston Contractors, and that's for the industrial park excavation and road pad. So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Consideration to approve the annual transfer of funds from University Town Center TIF revenue account to the administrative expense fund.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, this one's a $55,000 transfer from the revenue fund to the administrative expense fund. We have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And this would also authorize further transfers if needed.
Okay.
They are estimating 55. It usually doesn't go over that amount, so we're hoping that covers it. But otherwise, they wouldn't have to. So they would have to come back. So
Okay.
if you authorize additional, that's what the letter states.
All right, thank you for the clarification. Okay, reports from elected officials and/or department supervisors. Do you have anybody? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead with reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yeah, first, I just want to report that we had funded through the Morgantown Tourism Fund, the Cheat Lake Regatta. It was a smashing success. It was 2 days. Over 30% of the people attended were not from West Virginia, so we were quite surprised about that. The CVB also helped promote it. It's a 2-day event, and we are considering next year to do a 3-day event with a bass tournament on the Friday before. So that's just a really great news. Second, I received a request from some investors about wanting to start and have a cigar bar in Mon County. I know nothing about it, but what I'd like to do, they said that the county health department has restrictions that says we can't have a cigar bar, and I was wondering if I could ask, if you don't mind, if I asked the health department to just ask, I don't know what's going on, but I asked if they were state health guidelines. He said, no, it's county guidelines that will not allow a cigar bar. And I said, well, I don't know anything about it, so just for your information, I was contacted. I'm going to request the county to send me the information because I don't know what they're talking about. Does anyone know anything? I mean, I just,
I would assume that's the indoor smoking ordinance.
Right.
There's a restriction against indoor smoking, so
Okay.
that would obviously apply to a cigar bar.
right. So I don't know if there would be a way to amend if a cigar bar wanted to open up. I don't, I think it's something that I want to know more about.
Well, certainly just,
Yeah.
I think it'd be astute to check with the health department just to
Yeah,
try
to
to figure
verify.
out what are the actual rules.
Yeah. And the third and final is very excited today. At 1 o'clock, we are taking a tour of Westridge, and hopefully we will be able to see Bass Pro. And that's what we're looking at. I'm very excited about that. And that's all I'll say on that.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't need a boat to go over the moat to go get there. Okay.
Commissioner Arnett.
A couple of things. First, a big thank you to First Energy. I know they get a lot of flack from now and then, but our neighborhood had a power outage yesterday, and my house was fine, but most of the neighborhood was out. And they were there until the wee hours of the morning, probably for 12 straight hours, working diligently to get it finished. They couldn't quite solve the problem, but they came up with a temporary solution to get people power by the end of the night. So they really put in the effort there. Secondly, a big congratulations to the WVU men's soccer team. I always laugh after we do the Pledge of Allegiance because Tom turns his head and says beat Pitt every single time, which is near and dear to my heart. So the WVU soccer team did beat Pitt 2-1 the other night, knocking off the number 3 team in the country. So it's always a good day when you beat Pitt. So sweet Caroline to everyone there, and that's all I've got.
Okay. Since the last meeting, last Friday, we had staff reports, and then in the evening, I had the pleasure of going to the Morgantown High home football opener. It was exciting to see football played before a packed crowd, and it was a great game. Morgantown won the game, gave it away in 3 or 4 different ways, but it was exciting to see it. On Saturday, I had also the pleasure of, by virtue of my daughter being in the Morgantown High band, I had to do seat install at the stadium. So that was real fun. High noon, the hottest part of the day, installing 4,200 seats in the stadium for those temporary seats that season ticket holders in order. So, and we had about a half hour left, and the skies opened up, so we had to come back on Sunday. So that was a annual ritual that was my 6th year of doing it, and I still have 2 more years to do it. So it was fun. Sunday night, I went to the annual Reagan dinner, and it was a good opportunity to catch up with some state officials like Kent Leonhardt, our ag commissioner. We had a long discussion about our building. James B. McCuskey, we had talked about numerous issues affecting our county. And Majority Leader Summers, she wanted an update on where we were with our broadband efforts. So it was good to catch up with them. Monday, I had a broadband strategy call with our consultants. Yesterday, we had a project site visit, and then we had our COVID call with all of our county officials. And then I had in the afternoon a Development Authority Executive Committee meeting. Today, we had our call with Greene County prior to our meeting, and then we have a regular meeting, and then we are going to have an off-site meeting, as Commissioner Boom indicated, in Westridge. So we're looking forward to it. And Ryan did indicate where shoes can get muddy. Tomorrow we have a broadband survey sub-team, District 4 meeting, MAP Executive Committee meeting, and I have lunch with constituent. Friday we have staff reports and a broadband full meeting. In general, I appreciate the elected officials and our employees and the public's patience as we try to pull back a little bit and reinstill some further protections to try to work through this this pandemic. I will say that I was very happy with the call we had with all the elected officials and county representatives. We had everybody on there from all offices across the county to different areas that aren't county that are our brothers and sisters working side by side, like the circuit court, family court, magistrates, probation, the Board of Education superintendent participated on our call. And one of the things that we did kind of gather some information from the call as far as where we stood from a vaccination standpoint. And I'm pleased to report that county officials or county employees, we have about 81% that are vaccinated, which is good. We still want to push to get 100%, but I was a little pleasantly surprised that that number was that high. And we have a number of offices that are 100% vaccinated. So that was also really good to hear. And I think the meeting was very useful to just, why reinvent the wheel? Let's talk about shared experiences and discuss lessons learned so that we can all benefit from that. So the city will participate in that call too. I know Kim Haas and Emily had to jump off early, but again, it's just an opportunity to just listen in, even if you don't have any input, to where we're at and where we're thinking about going. So, having said that, I want to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.